It hit me like a ton of bricks. There I was, scrolling through Instagram, looking at everyone else's perfectly curated lives. Suddenly, a wave of nausea washed over me. It wasn't envy I felt, but a deep, unsettling realization. I was the bank, the safety net, the one everyone leaned on. My family relied on me financially, they always had. I had always been the responsible one. The good daughter, the reliable sister. I prided myself on being there for my family. But somewhere along the way, that sense of responsibility morphed into a suffocating burden. I was the family ATM, and the withdrawal slips kept coming. Don't get me wrong, I loved my family. But the constant requests for money, the unspoken expectation that I would always say yes, were draining me. I felt like I was living everyone else's lives but my own. The weight of their needs pressed down on me, stealing my joy, my dreams, and my sense of self. Something had to change. We weren't born into wealth, far from it. Growing up, money was tight. I remember my parents struggling to put food on the table, the constant worry etched on their faces. As the oldest, I felt a responsibility to help. I got my first job at 16, working part-time while juggling school. Every penny I earned went towards household expenses, easing their burden, or so I thought. The pattern continued into adulthood. Even when I had my own life, my own bills, the requests for loans never stopped. A car repair here, a medical bill there. It was always something. I told myself it was temporary, that they were going through a rough patch. But deep down, I knew the truth. This was the dynamic we'd fallen into, them needing, me providing. It was a seemingly harmless post on Facebook that broke the camel's back. My sister, beaming, showing off her brand new designer handbag. The caption read, "Thanks to my amazing sister for this early birthday gift. Love you." My blood ran cold. The handbag was expensive, way beyond my sister's means, and I knew exactly where the money came from. Me. Money I had sent to help with her rent emergency. The same emergency she'd used 2 months prior. Suddenly, it was as if a spotlight shone on the truth of my situation. My family wasn't just struggling, they were taking advantage. Using my love and loyalty as a free pass to a comfortable life, a life I was funding but not living. The realization was a punch to the gut. My sacrifice, my hard work, it all felt meaningless. I was enabling their behavior and in the process, losing myself. The first thing I did was nothing. I froze. I couldn't confront them, not yet. The thought of their hurt, their anger, was paralyzing. So I retreated inward, wrestling with my emotions, trying to make sense of the tangled mess of guilt, resentment, and love. When I finally found my voice, it was shaky at first, unsure. I started setting small boundaries, saying no to insignificant requests. The reaction was swift and brutal. Accusations flew. I was being selfish, cold-hearted, forgetting where I came from. The guilt trips were relentless, each word a barb aimed at my already fragile resolve. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. Messages flooded my inbox, each one a variation on the same theme: how could you? It was a chorus of disapproval, and I was the villain in their narrative. The fallout was messy, painful. There were tears, arguments, and a deafening silence that stretched on for weeks. But amidst the chaos, a strange thing happened. I started to breathe again. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't constantly worried about someone else's financial woes. I wasn't glued to my phone, bracing myself for the next plea for help. It was terrifying and liberating all at once. Stepping off the treadmill of their needs created space in my life, space for me. I started focusing on myself, something I hadn't allowed myself to do in years. I enrolled in a night class, something I'd always dreamed of doing. I started cooking again, experimenting with new recipes, savoring the simple joy of creating something for myself. Free from the weight of their expectations, I felt lighter, more alive. It was as if a whole new universe of possibilities had opened up to me. I started exploring hobbies I'd long forgotten. I dusted off my old guitar, its strings singing a melody of forgotten dreams. I joined a hiking group, my lungs filling with fresh air, my spirits soaring with each step I took. These weren't just distractions, they were rediscoveries. Each brushstroke, each note, each step reminded me of who I was, who I'd always been before the needs of others had eclipsed my own. The woman in the mirror was different now, stronger, more confident, her eyes sparkling with a newfound sense of purpose. I wasn't just surviving anymore, I was thriving.